Last time on Wonders and Blunders. And from the back comes this tall, muscular woman, and she gives you this huge, warm smile. Now, she says, if you need anything at all, my name is, I'm Bridget Collane.
I'd like to go get Baito from the caravan.
Okay.
I'll put you in a room next to mine. Make yourself comfortable.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Over the last 2 days, as we've gotten closer to the city, Bree has gotten steadily more and more uncomfortable. I'm just sitting up in Baito's room with the door closed, just like looking out the window.
Behind you, you can see Baito just tearing apart all the sheets. And he shreds all those up and brings them into the closet.
I've, in fact, barricaded the door with the bed frame.
Okay.
Yuri, I believe there may be someone else looking for the same items as us.
Bridget, who else came through? Who else is staying here? You said you had other guests. Bartholomew Pillenshire. My fellow treasure hunting rival, Yuri Ditch Digger, everyone.
Fuck! Oh, god damn, it's fucking impossible! How is he fucking here? He's always 2 steps fucking ahead of me! How did he know to come to this place at the only moment?
So when we last left, you had just watched Yuri storm up the stairs after his compatriot of unknown origin, Bartholomew the Watcher Pillenshire, announced his presence and came down the stairs in the Inn of the Steady Stream. And I guess, just as a catch-up of where everybody is, where are y'all right now as Bartholomew starts to descend the staircase?
Wait, is it the morning or is it the night?
It's still the night, yeah. So now it's about 9 p.m.-ish. The sun's gone down. The dinner is over, and people are just drinking and having a good time in the tavern. The lumberjacks are getting loose, talking about their days. You know, the general decompress that they seem to do here each evening after dinner. Things are actually starting to wind down even a little bit. It doesn't seem like they party hard all night or anything here. It seems like people are starting to get up and leave, and the inn is starting to clear out.
Okay. I'm still asleep on the pile of furs next to the fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kara is sort of like cheek flat on the table beside her dinner, sort of pressed into a butter knife. So she's gonna have a fun imprint when she wakes up.
Great.
Bree is upstairs, peering out the window watchfully while hanging out with Baito in Baito's little closet hole cavern.
Yeah, Baito has punched a hole through the closet door and has taken all the shredded sheets and curtains and made himself a little disgusting nest in the closet. And you have the bed flipped up against the door,
Yeah,
correct?
barricaded the door shut with the bed. Yeah.
Okay.
And Valen is, I think, finishing up a conversation with Devayan.
Yes, yeah. So you talked to Devayan about the kobolds in the mountains nearby, that people had gone out, but he didn't have any idea of the item that you guys were looking for or anything like that.
They told us a little bit about Bridget, the innkeeper.
Yes, yeah, that she had a dwarven mother, that she's been here about 8 years, and has taken over the inn in her mother's stead.
Yeah, Rowan is with Valen as well in that conversation, so they're just, I guess, sitting next to each other. Yeah.
I guess Ben had kind of just be coming in.
Yeah, you'd be coming back from the kids.
Yeah.
So you enter to see, these lumberjacks sort of milling around as Valen and Rowan leave the conversation with Deba. He puts his arms around people and starts launching into another big boisterous story. And I guess you would come in just as you hear the door slam upstairs from Yuri stomping away. And slowly everybody went silent while listening. And Bree, you would have heard that happen in the room next door. Yuri goes into the room right next to yours. And you would have heard all the noise downstairs quiet out and then slowly build back up after a few moments of Yuri swearing, bleeding into the distance.
I guess Benjamin will walk up to Valen and Rowan. Just be like, Uncle Yuri sounded upset.
He didn't seem very pleased to have encountered his old work colleague, it seems.
Well, yeah, I think maybe there's a story there. I'd like to hear myself.
Should we go introduce ourselves?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I think the swearing probably woke me up.
Yeah, he was yelling pretty loud.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm awake too.
Yeah. So, Star, I think you in the pit of furs would have been sprawled in, sort of like curled up with Sky and Dust. Oh my God, what's the third one's name?
Light?
Light?
Light. Yeah, Light, Sky, and Dust. So you guys all would have been sort of sprawled out on the ground in warm cat mode. And you all wake up with a start. And realizing what time it is, Light and Sky take Dust and start heading up to one of the rooms.
Okay.
And they just say the warmth is nice, but I think it's time to get this one to bed.
So we'll walk up to the flashy fellow who just came down the stairs.
Yeah, so he has posted up at the bar and has bought drinks for everybody at the bar. So if you make your way over and he sees you coming, he says, "Oh yes, 2 more for my friends here."
Oh, well, that's mighty nice of you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Valen. And this is my friend Rowan and our friend Benjamin.
Hi.
Oh yes, I didn't even see you there, young one. Wow, what a wonderful sight to see you out here. What brings you all to town? You don't have the look of the Pinefellians.
We've come aboard the Caravan of Wonders along with Yuri.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, that's an old friend of mine, Yuri.
Yes, and how do you know him?
Well, we run in similar circles.
Any good stories of our good friend?
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose there's the time that several stories of me sort of swiping treasures out from under his nose. He's a little bit slow, that one, as I'm sure you've already guessed.
Huh.
You must be the newest band of ragtag adventurers he's managed to get under his belt for. What pittance is he paying you?
Well, he's paying us so far in good friendship.
That's classic Yuri.
Also 2 gold a week.
I need to decide if Rowan has seen any of this gold yet.
Yeah, none of you
We haven't
said
seen
he
it
was going to
yet.
pay you in Pinefell. Yeah.
Yes. We'll be seeing to the finances sooner or later, but we're really we're interested in the excursion more than anything else, I believe.
Well, yes, I suppose seeing the world is payment enough. I don't know. That doesn't resonate with me. That doesn't ring true. It hurts to say.
So what is it you're searching for out here yourself?
Well, all sorts of things could be buried out in these mountains. I dare say I'll be checking out the underground regions near here, but I don't want to give too much away to my direct competition.
Oh, why not collaborate?
Yeah, we don't have to be competitors. We could work together.
How many of you are there?
Well, many hands
8 or
make light
9,
work.
I believe.
Yes, well, that's quite a split bounty. It's only me, so I think I'd rather just take it for myself. I'm more than capable of doing it on my own.
Well, interesting. But I just don't see why we wouldn't, pool our resources, cover more ground that way, and come up with all kinds of amazing treasures, I'm sure.
Imagine the stories we'd have to tell.
Yes, the stories, of course, the stories. I've got many a story I tend to keep to myself. You see, I'm a bit of a lone wolf. I set out into these areas on my own by choice. It's a burden I carry upon myself.
Right.
You see, I don't think anyone else around me could be brought into the dangers that I could take. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if something were to happen to you. And he starts like stroking your faces and he's like, "You sweet adventurers. Oh, look at you. So new and fresh out in this area.
Well,
No, I couldn't possibly take you along. It's just, it's too dangerous."
I lean back from the face caress and I sort of lean in and just like caress his face. I'm like, am I doing it right? Is this a local custom?
I'm very much not from here, my friend, but he does grab your hand and sort of move it down. He says, "Oh, no. Besides, I'd say a little bit of competition will light a fire under you, don't you think? It always does for me. I'll find it twice as fast if I know that I'm beating you all doing it."
Now, when you say light a fire, do you thinking warmth or are you thinking burn?
A burn like a pleasant little burn on the rump, something to get you moving a little bit quicker.
Right, I see. Okay.
I'm gonna come up and come up beside Rowan and say, "And who's this fellow?"
Oh, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, how rude of me! My goodness, I am Bartholomew Pillenshire, but you can call me the Watcher. That's what many people call me.
I bet they do.
That's not exactly how you just describe yourself as more of a doer.
Yes, well, you don't have much choice over your own nicknames, but they do call me the Watcher because of my grand library of relics, which I watch over myself.
Do you have them with you?
No, of course not.
Then who's watching over them?
Good question.
Can I tell, like, does this guy seem like he's actually, like, really capable, or is he, like,
can insight him.
grandstanding a lot?
Insight him, yeah.
The Pillenshire Dragon Heist.
That is 21.
21. He isn't everything he says he is, but he does seem capable and confident. He at least seems to believe he doesn't need any of you. But he's putting on a show, like in an insulting way. This is, and I think Valen, you're especially used to this type of insult. This is very much like he's been in the courts before.
Right. I think used to it, but not necessarily
First.
versed in. Well, not versed in it. Not particularly bothered by it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just recognize it from this is how people insult each other in the court, and it is really only effective against people that have massive egos.
And so, how long do you imagine you'll be staying here? Will Pinefell remain your base of operations?
Well, no, I'd say I'll be hitting the road within the next couple of days after I've sort of established which area I'll be heading to.
Mm-hmm.
And now, how do you go about making that decision?
Well, I usually just walk through and charm everyone around me.
Oh, don't you?
Yes.
Oh.
They'll give up their secrets soon enough, and if not, then I'll follow my nose, you know?
Particularly odorous, this artifact you're after?
Oh, I'll sniff it out.
Well,
Does this guy have a big nose? He seems like
He
would
does have a big nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a big nose. He's got a curly, greased mustache under it as well, and like a well-formed goatee. And yeah, just as a reminder of what he looks like, he's got this big, wide-brimmed hat, which is very much like Yuri's, except the brim is just 3 times wider. He's got all this really expensive, flashy-looking adventuring gear. He has this flashy sort of fur cloak that he wears on his back. The inside is like lined with velvet, and it seems to flow a little bit, even though there's no breeze around him as he sits down. He's got under his hat this like curly hair peeking out. Sorry.
Breeze upstairs.
Ayo. Then I guess that's all you need to do. But yeah, speaking of Bree, let's go upstairs. What are you doing up there?
I'm still on watch. I was trying to get an eye of like the comings and goings of the village, and particularly in terms of like hunting parties coming back was what I was, if I recall, what I was looking for last time was because I knew the lumberjacks had kind of all come back in when the whistle blew at the old Flintstone stone quarry.
Yeah, they all came down off their dinosaurs.
Yeah. And but now I've been looking for like hunters and anyone else in the village to try and get an idea of the population.
So as the sun came down, you would have seen the hunters start to come back. 4 hunters come in, and they're actually like kind of difficult to spot. It's only once they sort of light up torches throughout the town that you actually see them come in, and you see that they're wearing all these white furs is why they're so difficult to pick out. They're almost indistinguishable from the snow. And you can see the game that they're dragging. One of them has an elk, and you see another one with a whole string of what look like pheasants as they make their way in. And they go towards the stables. They don't actually come into the inn. They go over to the stables.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah.
And while you're looking out the window watching them come in, you just hear like, hey,
I look back towards Bido.
Big boss.
Yes.
Hungry.
Yes.
I smell something good.
I see food coming in, stored at the stables.
Oh. And he like keeps hopping up to look out the window.
Careful, careful. There's hunters about.
Oh. And he ducks down.
He says, I smell. That's not what I smell. I smell something close.
And he like pushes his face up against the ground, and like sticks his nose right in like a knothole. And he starts looking down through the floor, and he says,
Food down there.
Yes, weird food. They call pastries.
Pastries.
I do not know what they are.
They smell good.
Yes, it's a little sick, but yes, not as good as fresh elk.
No, but closer.
And he just starts like digging down. You can see him. He starts like working his fingers into the knothole and starts digging at it and sort of chipping away at the boards.
Is there any other knotholes I can peer down to see like what's directly below us?
Yep. Yeah. So you like bend down to look at the ground as he starts like digging out this knothole, and you can see like his little fingers. He's pretty quick as he starts digging through, and you see you're right above the kitchen.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So he's gonna start digging.
Are there a lot of kitchen workers in there? Or is it only what was her name?
Bridget.
Bridget. Bridget is not in there right now. Make a perception check.
14.
14. Yeah, you can see and hear 2 kitchen workers.
Careful, careful. There is others in there. We may want to wait till the kitchen clears out.
He says, okay. Sneaky dig.
Sneaky.
Sneaky dig.
And he just like starts going like shh,
Shush. 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 Shush.
as he starts to dig through the floor. But he starts making a lot less noise, and he slows his pace down quite a bit.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna be in so much trouble.
I can't wait.
So back down with Bart.
Yeah, I think I would sort of say to him, been a pleasure to meet you. Should you require any assistance, if you get yourself into trouble, feel free to reach out. Should you have the means, we're happy to help. And I'll shake his hand maybe and start to leave.
Yeah, so he hands you your drinks as you go, and he says, "On me, yes. And once the game is afoot, well, I wish you the best of luck, and you're going to need it."
Wait, you wouldn't hurt us, would you?
Oh no, of course not.
All right then.
Well, I mean, unless it came down to it.
Do I believe him?
You can keep your 21 insight before he's being honest. He also hasn't. If you're wondering about the drinks, he hasn't touched the drinks that you can see.
What would coming down to it entail?
Well, I just it's nothing personal. It's just part of the business. If we're in the same room as the said item, and only one of us is going to get it, well, we'll have to. How did they say? Throw down for that.
Oh, I should hope not.
I should as well, but I should beat you handily. You'll never even see me once we're out there.
Oh, well, that's good to know then. I'll look forward to not seeing you out there.
As will I.
Yeah, and I'll just sort of walk away, sort of sipping, sort of ponderously.
Kara's a little bit tucked behind Rowan, but she is steaming.
Yeah, he looks down and sort of shoots you the finger guns.
Ooh, I hate him now.
So as you guys make your way back towards your own area, you see Bridget has been just cleaning up as tables leave. She goes over and sort of wipes them down and takes all the glasses and food away. The smell of the meal is starting to dissipate. And she walks over and says, "Well, everyone has work tomorrow, so sober up." And she taps on the wall. and you see this little grate at the back of the bar get pulled up, and you now notice all along the edge of the bar is this wooden trough, and when this grate goes up, water starts to flow out through it around the edges of the bar, and people sort of take their tankards and fill them up and sip. And she says, 2 glasses before bed.
Oh, my heart.
It's a good barkeep.
That's a good barkeep.
And yeah, so you can see now why this place is called the Steady Stream.
Is there any food left?
Well, I'm sure we can find something for you, Benjamin. What are you thinking?
Whatever we have. I'm just hungry.
And Rowan will start going through his bandolier, flipping through pouches. Let's see.
I didn't finish. I've just half a plate of food.
Yeah. Ben just hops up on the bench and just starts wolfing down or owling down the food.
Oh, right.
Puking up bones later.
Yeah. Yeah. Eating it whole. Just not chewing. No, he eats it like a human.
Yeah. Rowan sees you tuck into that and then kind of blush a little bit and stop.
So as you dig in, the last of the lumberjacks sort of leave, followed quickly by Deba, who comes over and sort of taps his hand on the table a couple of times and says, "Well, it was very nice meeting y'all. I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay. If there's anything else we can do to help you, we'll be around."
Yeah.
Same goes to you. If you're looking for any help or any other questions or anything, absolutely. I look forward to seeing you around.
Well, I'll sleep on that. I'll tell you. I'm sure there's more than one thing we could use a pack of adventurers for.
Certainly. We're happy to lend a hand.
Good night.
As they leave, I will sort of like kind of lean over to Rowan again. And any further thoughts or decisions on whether we hand over this trinket?
And Cardiff, you're with me too, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Valen, I'm glad you brought that up. And Cardiff, if you don't mind sitting with us on this one, I've been giving this some thought, and well, I think, and this is why I appreciate having you 2 reasonable minds with me right now. I've been thinking of different ways to go sneaky about this, and well, quite frankly, having watched Bridget do a thing around here, I think she's got a good heart, and I think I might just directly go up and ask if she's got any business like this. I mean, in a way she knows that I'm not judging, and just let her know that I've got it, and if it's hers, then I'll hand it over. I don't think there's any reason to be underhanded or about it. What do you guys think?
I think that seems quite reasonable.
Perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that's what I'll do. And he'll get up and approach Bridget.
Okay, yeah, she's up by the bar, and she comes out after having dropped off a load of dirty dishes, and she says, "Oh, anything I can help you with?"
Well, Bridget, this was a lovely evening. You've got a lovely inn going.
Well, thank you very much. We try our best.
Yeah, it's after a difficult time on the road, it sure is nice to come into such a warm and well stocked inn like this.
And the food's delicious.
Just delicious.
Well, thank you. It was short notice. I promise it'll be even better tomorrow.
It can't be easy running an inn like this, or isolated like this up in the hills, and keeping everything kind of in stock. Are you running into trouble that way?
Well, no, we tend to do quite well. The hunters are quite skilled in this area, and a fair bit of money comes through the mill.
Oh, grand.
I mean, in the summertime when we get our seasonal workers in, this place is bustling even.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. When we were coming in on the road, we came across a pretty odd sight, I gotta say. It was, I hope you've heard of something and can maybe give me some details on it, but it was, I'm going to say a lady, but she seemed a little out of sorts and in with a whole lot of ravens. You ever hear anything like that? And I've got like all of my insight focused.
Yeah. You can make an insight roll on her to.
May I as well?
Yep.
24.
24.
And 19.
19. Kara, she looks confused to you. But with a 24, you see just like an instant of concern on her face. And she says, "Well, no, I can't say I've heard of anything like that. But the mountains here are full of surprises."
Oh, that they are. And Bridget, it seems to me that you're doing real good work here. You're maintaining a focal point for this community and a fulcrum of trade, and that's commendable. I want you to know that. And I think, you pardon me for saying, and I'm going out on a limb here, but if you had to, make friends with some odd people or some people who maybe make odd first impressions, if nothing else, there's no reason to feel ashamed about that, because, like I said, this is good work you're doing here.
Rowan, maybe you should just show her the thing.
Yeah.
I think we might be talking around the issue a little bit.
Oh, I'm going through like a bear through bush. I'm sorry. Listen, this lady, she came off on a bad first impression, and well, I made a deal with her under good faith, and I can't blame her for making a bad first impression. Some folk can't help the way they are, can they? So they gave me this amulet here, and I'll take it out and kind of show her. And she said that I needed to give this to the one who resides in the steady stream. Now, of course, that can mean all kinds of things, can it? But being as this inn is called the steady stream, and being as you live here, I'm thinking maybe it might be for you. And if you know anything about it, and if it's a good thing, then, well, I'm very happy to hand it along. And if it's a bad thing, well, I'm just as happy to help you out with it. And it doesn't have to go any further than this.
She, reaches towards it for a second.
And I'll kind of just keep it out of her reach until, I sort of read her fully.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a reaction when you take it out. You're watching her with that same intensity you were before, and neither of you get any sort of strangeness out of her when she kind of lifts her hand up for it, and she says, "Well, many people move through here. Could have been for any of them. But I don't think I'm the one you're looking for."
You don't think so?
Well, I've never seen that before.
You've never heard of anything like that? You've never come across stories, or perhaps your mama maybe mentioned something like that.
My mother would never have. She never told me any stories about this.
I see.
I think you might be mistaken. If you'd like me to hold on to it and try to pass it off, I will do that, but I have no need for it.
Well, I gotta say, part of me's very glad to hear that. I'm a little nervous about what this is going to bring to the one I give it to, but I did make the deal under good faith, and so I have every intention of finishing my part of the task, if you know what I mean. But I think, as for the moment, it's my burden until I find the right recipient. And if you're saying you don't know anything about this, then perhaps I'll see if I can find somebody else. And if not, then maybe me and you can reconvene this conversation.
And if you don't believe that you're the intended recipient, do you know who else might qualify as residing here?
And she looks down, and you can see her thinking. And she says, "Well, no."
I don't want to bring harm to anybody, and I don't want to be that directly in the transference of this here piece of jewelry, or indirectly by not transferring it over when I should, if you know what I mean.
Well, I wouldn't want to be responsible for getting you in trouble either, so perhaps I should take it.
When she said that there's no one else she can think of, did that seem true to me?
Yes, that seemed like she was digging for anyone else that it could be and couldn't come up with anyone.
Now, was she digging in a way that meant, can it be anybody other than me, or was she digging because she genuinely does not think it's her and is wondering who else it could be? You know what I mean? Like, do I see the other side of that?
You got a 24?
Yeah.
You can't tell.
Okay.
You don't know. You know that she was looking around, and you could see her combing through her memory trying to think of who, but you don't know why.
I think maybe if you're sure that you're not the one that this lady unkindness suggested, And perhaps I shouldn't use that name because that implies something that I don't know about her. But I'm just referring to her in that way because she keeps a mighty big group of ravens with her. But if you think you're not the one that she's making reference to, then I'll hang on to it for a little while longer. And if I can't find somebody else in a day or two, then we'll do the whole trade-off.
Very well.
But in the meantime, if something else comes to mind, please know I'm your friend in this.
Yes. Thank you for checking with me. I'm sorry to hear that you had some trouble in the forest. And I hope we can help ease your mind while you're here. But if you excuse me, I'm feeling a little tired, and I think I might retire for the night. A couple of my helpers are here should you need anything in the night, and anything more urgent, feel free. I'm the room farthest to the left upstairs.
Farthest to the left. Oh, okay. Well, you sleep well.
You as well. And she sort of nods to everybody and then makes her way upstairs.
Good night.
Perhaps there's another steady stream nearby.
Perhaps, or maybe we didn't get all the information that we were hoping to get, but yeah.
Or maybe Bridget's mother kept a few secrets from her.
There was definitely a chord struck there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I hope I didn't disturb her. That was not my intention. But like I said, I'll hang on to this for another couple days and see what else we come across. And if nothing else, then yeah, we'll give it to Bridget and let Bridget sort of do what she will with it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. I think Valen's going to go to bed.
Okay.
Do we have rooms?
Oh yeah, you were out, weren't you? Yeah, we've got rooms upstairs. One to ourselves, actually. You've got your own room.
Oh, are there any on the first floor? It's more comfortable.
I think they're all upstairs.
They are, yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you show me to my room? I'm really sleepy.
What is my insight say?
You can. That's up to you to roll. You can roll deception.
I'm not lying.
Or persuade.
Tired boy.
Oh, that's good because I only got a 9 anyway.
I got a 20 plus 0, 20. Yeah, 20.
20.
It's the least exciting natural 20 I've ever heard.
He's sweepy. He's as sweepy as a little boy can be.
He's got a knuckle in his eye. His big fucking owl eyes. Just.
Yeah, I think it's bedtime for me too. I'll go up with you.
With Benjamin?
Benjamin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you three head to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Star and Rowan.
I think that after the big slam and then the siblings taking the sibling upstairs, Star kind of like looked at the fire and warm catted again.
Okay.
And is now just asleep.
Just
like,
a
full out asleep.
big stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dig the big claws into the hardwood and take a chunk out and then go back to the...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like curled up into a circle on the... Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to be difficult and I'm going to go for a quick loop around the outside of the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump upstairs real quick then first as you make your way out the front door. Are you sneaking? Are you being sneaky about it?
No, I'm going to make it... I'm just looking like I'm out for a stroll. Like I'm not going to hide that fact that I'm out and I don't intend to stay out late. I think I'm just out for a stroll and just kind of giving the building a once over to see, if there's like a way, an outside way down to the basement or weird doohickeys that would, you know what I mean? Just looking for just anything out of the ordinary. Yeah.
Human-sized
a weird,
nest, maybe.
Yeah, a weird thing made out of crow feathers and skulls and human fingers. Just things like that.
So if you're not sneaking, I will say, Star, like while you're doing your stretch, you notice Rowan leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like big, like starts to talk, huge cat yawn, and then like, Rowan, where are you going?
Oh, well, I'm going to get an eye full of some stars out here. And, if my favorite star would like to join me, I certainly wouldn't say no. But if you're tired, you're more than welcome to just have a rest where you are.
And he looks out the window and I guess sees a lot of snow, right?
Oh yeah, it's snowy. It's actually it's quite beautiful outside right now because the torches have been lit throughout town as the last people are finishing up their night's work, and just big fluffy snowflakes just lazily drift down and occasionally hiss on the fire.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it is quite pretty out, actually. Maybe going for a walk is a good idea. Yeah, I'll join you. Why not?
Oh, well, that's just lovely. Come along, then. Let's see what we see.
All right. So you step outside and there's a couple of clouds in the sky, but mostly the town is lit by these torches and also by the waxing gibbous moon of tonight. My calendar has the stages of the moon, so it's a waxing gibbous tonight.
Waxing gibbous.
And it's sort of shining down. But before we get too much into that, let's see what Bree and Bido are getting up to.
Yes.
Getting
So-
on a dig.
So Bido has cleared a hole in the floor that's big enough for his head to fit through. And he has been like poking his snout down and watching the two workers down in the kitchen. So you see two humans, like teenagers.
And they haven't noticed our peeking hole.
No, Bido is actually quite good at this. He's very stealthy, and he is used to sort of spying on people from his den.
Yeah, I think I'm watching him do this with a fair bit of kind of like intrigue and admiration. I'm not used to a lizard moving so stealthily. Certainly not myself.
Oh, they're learning from each other.
But I think as I see this and kind of look at the hole and how far down everything is, I'm gonna take out one of my packs of rope and start tying like a little harness.
Okay.
Be like, it's going to be too small for me, but just the right size for Baito.
Oh, you lower, and I grab,
Yes.
and then we eat.
Yes.
Okay. What else I take? We get pastries.
Whatever is in reach.
Okay, I get everything I can.
Yes.
The cutest Mission Impossible.
Okay, so make a sleight of hand check for your harness.
Okay. Ooh, that's really good. 19.
19? Okay, so you slide him into this little rope harness, and he goes, okay, and he puts up his little badger hood, and he slorps into this hole. You learn that kobolds can fit into any hole that their skull can get through. And he, just sort of squeezes through, and a big puff of old fur comes up as he disappears down through this hole. And immediately you feel his, barely any weight at the end of the rope. And he looks back up and goes,
Okay, lower.
And I start slowly lowering the rope, hand over hand.
okay. He got another 21 stealth roll. Let's see how these kitchen workers are doing. Good, but not good enough. So you lower him down, and
Forgot that there's workers still in the kitchen.
yeah, they're down there like cleaning up
That's
dishes,
so
and
good.
they like move, and Bido actually like grabs the rope and keeps himself up a little as one of them moves right under him, and then he just drops and hits the ground in like a little superhero pose. And he slips off the harness and then tugs.
I pull the rope back up.
So as you like peer down through the knot hole, you see him sneak over, and one of the workers has all these sort of half-finished pastries on a tray, and he lays that down on the side. See what Bido sees, and Bido like reaches up and grabs all of that and sort of like tucks it into a pouch on his side, and then you see him like look up at you and like give you a little thumbs up, and then you see his jaw just go slack, and his eyes just get really wide, and you can't quite see. Well, make a perception check.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. So you're like looking at him, and you just see his like vision get caught on something, and you make your way back to like his hole to get a better look. So you look through the larger hole, and you see him staring at like a half-finished pig.
Ooh.
And
pig.
he's just staring at it and drooling, and he like looks up at you,
And it's like I'm just nodding on top of the hole.
So he like drops to the ground and starts crawling over.
Start opening up the harness to make it like a bigger size.
And okay, so he grabs it. So he's gonna make another stealth with disadvantage. Okay. And he
It's not gonna fit through the hole.
so he's like trying to lift it, and then he just like digs on the inside a little bit and like pulls out a couple of bones and then just like puts it on like a little suit.
Yeah.
And starts waddling back towards the rope. And you see him making his way across, and he like bends down behind this barrel as one of the workers comes by and just says like, "Oh, pretty easy night tonight, hey Fred?" And it's like, "Yeah, that's right, Ted. It's been a pretty slow week in general."
Fred and Ted, that's canon.
I almost wish, sometimes I almost wish something would happen around here, you know?
And then they make their way past and start cleaning out a mug as he waddles this little pig carcass over. You lower the rope back down?
Yep.
Yeah. So he's going to try to secure himself and the pig in that. So he ties it around and tugs.
I start pulling.
Okay. So you pull up, and then you see the snout come through the hole, and the rest of it not come through the hole. And you hear him just go like, pull, 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 bring pig.
I pull harder.
Okay. Make a strength or athletics.
And Mike, I want to let you decide, but if I recall correctly, I invited Bido to stay in the same room as me.
Oh, right. Yeah, so
So
this would be your room.
I assume at some point, yeah, so this is happening while we were chatting downstairs. You tell me when I open this door.
Okay.
Try to.
Yes, attempt to. I forgot about that.
That's a 22 athletics.
Okay, so you start to pull just as Valen, you try to
right
open
now.
the door,
Yeah.
and it doesn't open. You feel it like bump against something on the other side.
Bito, hello.
You hear a low growling from inside the room.
And then you start to hear like a crack as like wood starts to splinter.
Is your tummy feeling all right?
It's fine.
Oh, Bree, you came inside. Would you mind letting me in?
No.
What?
He's busy with Baito.
Busy?
And then you just hear like, pull, pull, pull. And then from downstairs, you just hear
dear.
like, what in the hell? Oh, Ted! And he's like, what, Fred? Oh my God! Is that a whole pig? What's in that pig? And then you just hear like, pull, pull!
What are you doing in there?
And then you feel the rope go slack, and you hear the two of them downstairs scream, just like, come all in the kitchen! Come all in the kitchen!
I'll run down towards the kitchen.
Okay, so you see these two guys run, like burst out of the kitchen and just scramble into the dining room. And then after them, you see Bido come out with two huge kitchen knives, and he's just like,
Pig mine, you stay away.
But Bito, no, drop the knives.
and you see Bridget come running around the corner from upstairs, and she looks down, and she's like, what in the hell is going on here?
There seems to be some sort of misunderstanding.
And yeah, she comes down the stairs, and Bido is like, and behind him, the pig corpse just sort of splorts onto the ground back into the kitchen, and with a couple of boards that had cracked and were being held up.
I look up and I just see this like hole in the ceiling.
Hole with an alligator looking down through it.
Yeah, just Bree's face looking down at us.
And Bree, you hear, Blue Boss, help, they find us.
Run!
And so he just like throws the kitchen knives at Fred and Ted.
No, Bito, no!
They both miss.
Oh god.
As they just like stick into like a table, and one of them just clatters onto the ground, and he just runs and
I was not
dives
ready.
out the doorway.
I was not ready for an old yeller.
Does the window open in this room?
You could try.
I tried.
You smash the window.
Oh, God.
But it opens, yeah.
Yes, we hear that upstairs. Where's Bito? Bito's running.
Bido just ran outside. So Rowan and Star, you would actually see.
The other way or past me?
You would have come down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would have run out the front door.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rowan and Star, you see him explode into the... You would have heard this muffled commotion inside, and then Bido just fly out the front door.
Do these doors lock from the inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Do the windows open?
You could try.
I'm gonna. Benjamin's hearing all. He's been just sat like looking out the window, and then he hears all this shit. Now he's gonna try to
make a strength check.
Ooh.
Come on, little boy.
18.
You also smash the window open. So as you try to like lift up, it just like cracks the panes of glass, as they've all been like sealed up for the winter. So yeah, both of you, your windows smash. So you two outside would just hear like psh, psh, as like Bree and Ben both poke their heads out from upstairs.
I'm going out the window.
Oh, you're going out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't poke my head out when he smashes the window. He like ducks.
Yeah. So you hear two windows break and see Bree launch out the window.
So what's happening with Bridget and the cooks in the kitchen right now?
The cooks have just like retreated over into the corner and are hiding behind a table.
Okay.
Bridget runs and grabs the two knives that Bido dropped.
Bridget, no, please, I can explain everything. Just give us a moment to retrieve our friend.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
Oh, don't forget your portents too.
I don't know how that would work with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do that without. I could use that instead of the roll. I didn't think of that. Thank you. But whatever, we're gonna go.
If you want to do it, you could do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So that would become. So I'm using one of them instead of that roll, and it becomes a 20.
A 20. Okay. So she. I don't know. Let's see how pissed she is. She's more confused than anything. So she's got these two knives, and she runs through the door, and she just says, "How could you explain this? There's a kobold. It came out of the mountain. It must have come out of Lefty." And
well, the kobold is with us.
You brought a kobold into my inn?
Yes, he's a member of the party.
And she like looks into the kitchen where this rope is just swinging, and this like big pig is on the ground.
He still has a few things to learn about the above ground world, but he's coming along nicely. You should have seen him when we found him.
You're responsible for any damages he's caused.
I'm sure Yuri is good for it.
Well, we had better hope so. And she says, "You keep that thing locked up. If I see it in my kitchen again, do you know what we have to do now? We have to scrub this whole place down. Everything it's had its nasty little hands on is contaminated."
Well, you don't know that he's that dirty, but I understand. Yes, I'll explain to him that above ground, we bring the food to him, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
And she says, "One more incident, and I'm putting him down."
Oh, you couldn't possibly imagine that.
I've done it before.
Well, I promise you that there will be no further incidents.
So Bree, outside, Bido has like rooted through his robes, and he now has a dagger and a sling in his hand, and he's just like swinging the sling, looking at the door, waiting for someone to come out.
Yeah, I would start, once I've sort of assured her, I would start to move after where he went.
Okay, so you open the door.
Wait, so do we...
I don't
Wait,
know if
no,
Bree gets
hold
there
on,
first,
hold on.
or they
Before
get
that
there
happens,
first.
do we see the kobold swinging, holding a sling?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to intercept that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to just...
As I'll see him come out, and I'll be like, "Oh, hey, Bido. Now you be careful if you're going to come on outside. There's a lot of things that aren't." And while I'm saying that, Star does whatever Star's about to do.
Yeah, I was going to... I mean, if he just runs out and then turns around and starts, like, obviously preparing an action, I'm going to just run in between and say, whoa. Okay, what's going on?
Okay, so the two of you step in front of him, and he's kind of peering around you, trying to get a good look at the door.
Yeah.
And he just says, "Hey, pig, me and her," and points as you see Bree just like into the snow behind you.
Oh, it's the two of you. Okay, well, you guys have fun, and you guys be careful, okay? No, but be real careful.
And then I'll just continue my walk as if everything is totally fine.
I just land and look at Bido and follow me, and then start running to the stables.
Okay. So Bido like looks at you, Star, and puts his sling back in his pocket. And then, runs off through the waist-deep snow with his arms over his head, just running after Bree as they both make their way to the stables.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to let them run off. but just sort of scratching my head.
Yeah, I think then I run around the corner, or
Yeah, you run out the front door.
Star. Have you seen Baito?
They went over there. They're going to the stables, I think.
Careful, we've got to get him to calm down. He may be in serious trouble.
I'll join Valen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you two run after them.
I assume I heard a commotion.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Actually, even when you guys are outside, you can see like lights coming on in people's houses and people peeking out the doors being like,
What the hell is going on?
I'm going to come back downstairs.
okay. You see Bridget is in the kitchen now and just like picking this big pig carcass up off the floor. And like she just has her hands on her head and she's looking at this hole in the ceiling, which has like mashed pig fat around it with like this little Mission Impossible harness hanging out of it and like broken boards on the floor.
Oh, well, this seems like quite a mess. What happened?
Well, I wasn't aware of everyone in your party, I suppose.
Oh. Oh,
That party.
that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, well, cost of the trade, I suppose. If you wouldn't mind, I need to be alone right now.
Of course.
And you, as you sort of like back away, she calls, Fred, Ted, go get your hammer and nails. We've got a quick patch job to do before we go to bed tonight. And they sort of like shakily come out from their hiding spots. And you hear Fred, Kara, as he walks by you, is just like, did I wish for this? Did I make this happen? As they make their way into the kitchen.
I'm going to go outside, I think.
Okay. So you, as you go outside, you can see Star and Balin as they chase after Baito and Bree towards the stables.
Okay. I'm going to cast Longstrider so I can catch up.
Okay.
At this point, Benjamin's just gonna pop his head out his door, just do a perception check. See
Yep.
if anyone's still there.
Do a perception check.
Take a 22.
22. Yeah. You don't see, or you can hear the work start down in the kitchen, but you hear the front door close again and no conversation.
Okay. It's actually 23 if that matters. But yeah, so
It does. There's a spider.
Oh no! Squish it. No. Save it.
It's part of the party now.
It's part of the party now. He wants a pig. And so Benjamin's just gonna kind of like look around, look back at the broken window bashfully, and close his door, lock it, and quietly make his way out the front door.
Okay. Yep. You can roll stealth if you want.
Okay. It's a 7.
7. Okay. Nobody in the kitchen looks up at you. It seems like they're pretty set in on their work.
Okay.
And you make your way out the door.
Okay. And then
So you can see now snow getting kicked up as Kara sort of runs across. The others are out of sight by now, but
right. Yeah, Benjamin kind of like is looking at the stable, and you see him. He kind of like shrugs and heads off away from it towards the cabin where he met the other kids.
okay.
Where am I right now?
You are making your way. You said you were going around the back of the inn.
Yeah, I'm moving around.
Yeah, so you've sort of moved. You saw them run off in the distance and have started inspecting the back of the cabin.
As soon as I saw Bree was involved, I was totally content with, like, yeah, they're all fine.
Yeah. So as you make your way around the back of the cabin, you see the inn is almost flush up against the sort of foot of one of the mountains behind.
Almost flush? Not quite.
Not quite flush. And you can see that there's like a water wheel back here and a small waterfall that comes out of the mountain feeds into this little water wheel as it spins around. And you can see the outlet of that trough that she opened. And part of it feeds into that and part of it moves this wheel.
Okay.
And you can make an investigation check. What are you looking for?
It's vague. I'm looking for anything that seems like it would denote magic or not just any magic though. I'm looking for anything that would look like it would have anything to do with that Lady Unkindness, like anything that would very obviously, I guess, be Raven associated or magic similar to what I feel with this amulet.
Well, you have an 18 passive perception, so I will say right away you do see a raven.
Yeah.
Sitting in a tree nearby, quietly.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Raven. Pardon me for making this association, but I'm assuming that you are associated with or know of the lady who set me this task, and I'll hold up the amulet and kind of then poke it back in my pocket safely, sort of out of reach if that thing comes at me. Like, now, you can let her know, your friend, that is, you can let her know that I did make the bargain in good faith, and I'm doing my best to uphold my end of things, even though, I'm just... Well, I hope you forgive my caution. She didn't make the best first impression, and, well, I hope you take this caution not as a sign against you guys, but just as a token of my goodwill in making sure that this is done right. And, well, Bridget doesn't seem to think that she is the recipient of this, so I'm going to hang on to it for another few days until I can be sure of things. But I'm doing what I can. And I'll watch the bird and see how it reacts.
It's still just staring at you.
Excellent. All right. Well, if you've got something to add, this would be a great time to... okay. Well, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing then. And good night to you.
Yeah, so you can see this raven like flickering in the nearby torchlight. Like you're around the corner, it's a lot darker over here. Mm-hmm. So the very edge of torchlight of the farthest out torch is hitting it, and you can see it sort of blinking off one of its eyes. And it just steps over on the branch out of the reach of the light.
Oh, good. Well,
and just sort of blends in with the darkness of the branches of the tree that it's in.
I'll take that as a I'll just take that as a good sign anyway. And, and I'll do an investigation on the water wheel and waterfall, in an attempt to see if maybe there's like a secret hidden treasure chest behind the waterfall, or something like that.
Yeah.
And also, I'm guessing I wouldn't hear or see Benjamin passing by.
No, you would have been around the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
I probably wouldn't have joined you anyway.
I know.
I'll stick to nowhere.
I get a natural 20.
Nat 20 on the investigation?
Yeah, probably nothing there. But
You start going over this water wheel, and the biggest thing that gets to you is you can't figure out what it's for. The water itself pours easily into the trough that goes through the inside, which is how you can see this stream is actually used. But the water wheel is attached to the rock and to the inn.
Oh, it's both
on either side. Yeah, as it turns, and you can hear it creaking with some effort. Like it has to fill quite a bit to actually continue turning. And you don't remember hearing any sort of grinding inside. But you didn't get a great look in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which that's the sort of part of this that it would line up with would be the kitchen.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like it lines up with gears or anything inside the hill.
You can't tell. You can see that the sprocket turns on either side.
Yeah.
But you can hear it. You can hear it turning on both sides. Okay. So you can hear it a little bit, like as you make your way over and sort of press your ear up against the hill, you can feel the rock vibrating as you go on that side, and the same sort of feeling on the inside of the inn. But it's not immediately apparent what this is for.
Yeah. All right. I'll just kind of make a mental note. And can I get around it to continue that side, or do I have to come back around?
Yeah, you can get around it. You can sort of like duck in under just the inside.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just continue my circumnavigation of this here inn.
Okay.
And I'm not inspecting super close. I'm keeping like my attention on it to see if something else odd shows up, but I'm not like peering in windows or anything. Like I'm just kind of like looking for odds.
Right.
In my naivety, I think with in terms of this woman and this kind of magic, I think I genuinely think that there'll be some like totem hanging from an eave or something like that'll denote
Yeah,
something.
you don't see anything like that. There is a cellar door at the back.
Okay.
But that is the only other thing of note. There's like a couple of windows. There's one on either side of the inn, not the back or the front, but on either side of the inn, there's one larger window. But they've been pretty well sealed up, like the other ones.
Is the cellar door locked? If I open it, does it open?
It is locked, yeah.
Okay. I won't pick at that. So
You can hear, actually, as you pick it up, that there's a lock on sort of the inside.
Yeah. Okay. And I knew there was a cellar because I saw it through the inside of the thing anyway. And I'll just continue on back around the other side to sort of come up and sort of back where I started.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So over at the stables, Bree, you and Bido reach the stables first. So when you get over there, you can see that inside the stables there are lanterns lit, and you can hear some conversation going on the inside.
Oh. Okay, I think the moment I hear a conversation, I to say to Baito, careful. I think there's hunters inside.
Okay.
And he takes out his dagger and sling again.
Yeah, get low. We go around and try to sneak in.
Yes, okay.
So he bends down and turns around just as Valen and Star come around the corner. So you can see him with his sling and his dagger again, and Bree peering around the other side.
Bree,
No.
Baito, please, stop.
Stop what?
Whatever it is you've been doing, you've created a terrible mess at the inn.
Baito was hungry.
It's a simple matter of ordering the food.
You filthy creature, put those things away. Put those. What are you doing with these weapons?
And does Baito look scared?
Do an insight on Bido. Oh god.
That's gonna be a 10.
A 10? His eyes are wide and he's like breathing really fast, but you can't tell if he's scared or excited.
Baito, now look at us. Now, who saved you from the stabby mama?
You.
Yes. Now, don't we have your best interests at heart?
What?
Don't I make sure you live?
Yes.
So, I'm trying to do that now. Put the knives away.
And he puts the dagger away.
And the sling.
And he puts the sling away.
And next time you're hungry, you find me and you ask me to get you some food.
I am hungry.
Yes, excellent. Do I have anything on me? I don't know if I probably wouldn't have my gear or like rations or anything.
He actually reaches into his own robes and pulls out a bunch of half-eaten pastries.
Excellent, yes. Help yourself to one of those right now.
Just one.
2. You could have 2.
And he stuffs both of them in his mouth.
I look at Stars like it's so hard to say no to him.
So you see like this puff of powdered sugar as he fires these things into his mouth, and then you just watch his pupils dilate. They just like fill up his eyes, and he's like,
I like pastries.
Excellent. We'll get you lots and lots of pastries. Now, we need to lay low for a little bit, and we need to be quiet for a little bit. Do you think you can do that for me?
Yes.
Excellent.
You can see that Bree is just kind of cross-armed looking at you.
Yes, Bree?
It is important he learns to hunt.
Oh, a parenting scuffle.
I'm sure.
Roll initiative.
I'm sure that Baito is a very good hunter, but if we're all to remain with our heads on our shoulders, we need to get along with the locals.
Why do we need to trust these locals?
Because they could kill us.
Yes, exactly. It is problem. We should not have come to town.
I took the wrong
Don't look at
approach
me.
on
I'm
that.
not defending your stupid lizard.
I'm coming up. I'm coming up behind you at fast pace.
oh yeah, so you'd like come around. Just the little legs rapidly.
Now, Bree, we need to maintain good relations. so that we can pass by this way again, should we need to.
I would also greatly prefer not to have to kill my way out of this town.
Exactly. I don't know.
We are not killing humans.
Maybe,
We are trying not to be killed, to survive.
maybe I can explain this a little more intuitively. If you challenge the humans in town for their prey, it puts them in a position of having to fight back and challenge you back.
We do not challenge. Pig was just left,
It's
half eaten.
it's in their den. They stored it in their den.
Why you bring us into den of dangerous creatures?
And you can see Fido, like, when you mention the pig again, he, like, takes his furs and smells them a little bit. And he just starts, like, idly licking them.
It's a custom of human-shaped people to host, but it means that we have to not challenge while we're in their territory.
Bree lets out a low growl of like disappointment, frustration, I guess. Well, what do we do for food?
Bido holds a pastry up to you.
They've
Sniff. Sniff down at it.
they've agreed to feed us in exchange for certain materials that we've brought along with us. And so when we're in their den, you just ask for the food.
They like sort of boring things like gold or shiny rocks, particular kinds of shiny rocks.
These rocks, they will not save you from wolves.
No, but staying in a nice warm inn does mean that we don't have to be on guard against wolves all night long.
But we must be on guard from other hunters.
Not if we don't try to steal from them.
They will not come for us.
Never.
Bree looks like she does not believe you.
Well, Valen's not being totally honest, but maybe he just hasn't had that experience.
He is not safe in creature's den.
It's sometimes safer because there are fewer exits. So you only have
So we are trapped in there.
I mean, did you see how fast you left?
Yes, I am very fast.
But there's only a small hole for you to guard.
This is true. I feel safer in the outside with the caravan.
Then certainly you're most welcome to remain there. But again, similar to my offer to Baito, should you need anything, any food, anything like that, you'll come find us first, right?
There is big elk in stable.
No. Again, certain things have already
Fresh.
been. How do I, Kara?
If they've already killed them, then they've staked a sort of a claim to them.
And the ones that they haven't killed yet are also claimed.
If they're in town.
Can we have pig? Can Valen ask for pig?
I can ask for the pig, yes.
I think that's a very good idea.
Okay. Bree is still kind of cross-armed,
In fact,
but it's like,
I think I may go inquire about it right now. Kara, you've got this?
Yes, I'll wait here.
Okay. And I'll start hoofing it back to the kitchen.
Okay. You can see that they've now got some boxes set up and they're up repairing the hole in the floor.
And I'll how much for that entire pig?
You can just take it. There was a kobold inside of it. You know that, right?
Sure. Oh, what a worthless piece of meat. Yes, I'll happily take it off your hands.
Good. We were wondering how we were going to dispose of it. This was supposed to be part of breakfast.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yes. Well, that and a lot of things, I suppose. Just take it.
Yeah, and I'll just. How heavy is it?
It's heavy. You drag it out.
Yeah.
Like there's just like a line of grease sort of on the ground.
I got a +1.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty unwieldy. Like
Yeah.
pieces are falling off of it. It's taken quite a fall and a squish.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just kind of like dragging it across the floor and out the front door and across the snow.
Okay. So Valen comes back with a big pig corpse. And Bido's like, yay!
See what happens when you ask for things.
I think I was explaining, and it's sort of like a mating dance that you see with some birds sometimes. You give them like gold is very good, and then in exchange they'll let you take the meat. There's no obligation of actual mating. It's just the dance part.
Pig is here. Good. He's kind of just like nodding, like, good pig.
Okay, so Bree, you're gonna set up in the caravan tonight.
Yeah, up in the little beer fur nest I've been making.
Yeah. Okay, so that's outside the actual stables.
Okay.
Yeah, the goats got brought in, but the caravan is still locked up outside.
Okay.
And the rest of you,
I try to take Baito. I asked Baito, now, would you prefer to stay in the caravan with Bree or in one of the rooms in the inn with me?
he like looks between the two of you. This is a surprisingly difficult choice for him at this point. Bree's definitely the fun mom. But he looks back to you. He's like, I come with you.
Okay, and we'll be sure to maybe I'll purchase you some more pastries for you to munch on.
Oh, yes.
And I assume
really
we like
fat
devour the
kobold.
pig. Like the pig's done now, or is it
I assume
pig
Bree
left?
brought it up into the.
Yeah, I mean,
mess.
I
Share a
think
little bit with-
Bido and I were just kind of the moment it came out, just started like tucking into it immediately. So
Yeah, if there's any pig left, I'll bring that with us as well.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll bring him back to the ruined bedroom,
Yeah.
which I guess I still can't get into.
Yeah, but when you go back up, you have to
door's
if you push on the door, the bed falls over.
Okay.
But like when you but yeah, with a big crash, and from downstairs you just hear like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, and I just look at the I haven't actually seen the inside of it. It's like, oh dear, this will take some work.
Yeah, Bido just sort of goes over and takes out all the pastries in his arm and just hucks them through the hole in the closet.
Yeah.
And then climbs inside and spins around a couple of times, and you just see his face stick back out.
Yes, you agree. If you need anything, you'll wake me and ask first. And if you need to leave the room, you check with me first. Understood?
Sure thing, boss.
Excellent. Oh, it's cold in here with the window.
Hey, it's nice.
Okay.
Breeze.
Yeah, and I'll just like start putting blankets up along the window as well as I can, and
Shredded blanket.
yeah.
There's
And
like no cloth left.
There's
in
no
this
cloth
room.
left, is there?
He's shredded it all.
Is the room in there with you?
Yeah, come on in. I make a second level.
Better than freezing to death, I suppose.
Yeah, it's disgusting in there. He has run like every piece of fabric through his own mouth and like gummed it to the sides. So he has like a small nest from like hay from the mattress on the ground, and he gives you that, and you see him sort of scurry up the wall into this little disgusting hammock that he's made on the second level.
No, I start to gag as I look in there and think about sleeping in it. Yeah, so I'll just curl up in a corner with like my traveling cloak.
Okay.
you still have the bed frame.
No mattress, right?
Star, are you going back to bed?
Did I see where Rowan went?
You would have seen him. You guys went out together, so like as you made your way across, you would know that Rowan did a circle.
Okay. I'm gonna go look for him before I go back to bed.
Okay. So we'll just say that the two of you sort of reach the front door at the same time.
Yeah.
And Kara.
I would be accompanying Star, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be any looking. I think and I'm looking at the DM for this, by the time I sort of finished my circumnavigation, they were probably not even done or about finished in there anyway.
Yeah.
So you would have just seen me sort of leaning against the front sort of post of, I'm imagining like a veranda deck on this inn. I'm like leaning against that, just looking up at the sky as you guys come back out.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, hey guys.
Did you have a nice walk?
You know, I did. I ran into a raven. He didn't say much, but I let him know to kind of keep our friend updated on my progress with this here little amulet. And I found a water wheel that seemed to turn gears I couldn't see, and then came back here. And look at all those stars up there. Isn't that nice?
They're very beautiful.
It's very pretty tonight. Yeah, I have to agree. However, this is a little bit too cold for me, so I will bid both of you good night.
Good
I'm
night.
gonna go in and curl up next to the fire again.
Okay. Yeah, it's still going. It's burned
If it's
down.
if it's still going.
It is still going, yeah.
We should probably try and get some good sleep tonight too. I think the morning might be a little bit, uncomfortable with all the chaos tonight.
What happened?
Well, I think Bridget might be a little bit unhappy with us in the morning.
No.
So
Is somebody
we
hurt?
should be. I think she's going to be a little upset about the damage to the inn.
I'm assuming Bido got up to something.
He did.
Yes.
And might have had some assistance from Bree.
Oh, they're getting along. That's great.
It is. It's quite sweet. But neither of them has been very respectful of property.
Well, I guess they wouldn't have much of a notion of it, would they? Yeah.
No. So I suspect that things might be a little tense in the morning, and we should probably sleep while we can.
Yeah, there's no strangeness stranger than the strangeness of living things, is it?
Very true.
Lumping me in with all other lizards. Says Bido, I just stood by and watched him do the damage.
I don't know that.
So you guys make your way upstairs and head to bed.
I think
Yeah,
actually
broke a
I
window.
might sleep down, like with Star. Like I might actually
okay.
sleep down there. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's lots of fur covered.
Yeah.
You hear the work a bit behind you, but they finish up pretty quick, and they all head their separate ways. Bridget doesn't say anything to you as she passes by and makes her way upstairs. Fred and Ted leave through the front door, and you all sort of drift off into a nice warm sleep, except for Valen, who lies shivering miserably in a corner as
Just
the
like-
wind whips through the broken bedroom.
Just like every 6 seconds, casting prestidigitation, just like warming my jacket, but getting like no sleep probably.
We'll do a con save for you tomorrow to see if you can sleep or how sick you are.
Okay.
Hello, it's me, Mike Farty, your DM, here to say thank you to everybody who has been sharing the show around and telling your friends. We just got to about 700 subscribers, which is insane, and that's all because of you. So, thank you. If you heard somebody do something awesome in the show, and I didn't give them inspiration for it, be sure to hit us up on our social media at Wonder and Blunder, and tell us about that moment. We'll actually pick out a few of those moments and give you a shout out on the show, and then we'll also give that character inspiration, so they'll get advantage on something that they want to do down the road, and that'll be a little gift from you to them. That's very nice of you. We're still a very new show, so you can take advantage of that by interacting with us on social media. We want to hear what you have to say about the show, and we want to chat with you and meet people in the community. So far, everyone we've met has been super welcoming and very, very friendly, and we want to meet more of you, so message us. Evan, who plays Valen, runs our social media, and because we're still small, he will respond to everyone. Every single person who messages us. He will do it. Right, Evan?
Oh yeah, that's right, Mike.
Is that a good Evan? I'm sorry, Evan. So yeah, thank you all very much. We all love you. See you next week. Goodbye.